Today we're making KegLand's all grain recipe kit, the Easter Coconut Rum Stout. Heading over to KegLand's website, they offer this kit in a single batch or a double batch. They have options for the grains, unmilled, single milled or double milled. I've selected the single batch and single milled. To add this recipe to your BrewFather app, scroll down to the product downloads and click on recipe instructions. Then on the next screen you can select either the single or double batch to add into your BrewFather app. The grain bill for this recipe includes 4.6 kilograms of Atlas Latrobe, 300 grams of dark chocolate malt, 300 grams of rolled oats, 150 grams Carapils Carafoam, 100 grams of Simpson's black malt, 100 grams of roasted barley. For the hops we'll be using 25 grams of Warrior and 25 grams of Chinook. And for the yeast we are using 1 packet of Cellar Science English. And for the coconut flavour there's 50 ml of Impressence coconut rum flavour. Included in the kit is the bag of grains, 1 kilogram of rolled oats, and we'll need to weigh out 300 grams, 2 packets of the hops, 1 packet of the dried yeast, and 50 ml of Impressence coconut rum flavour. Adding in 22 litres of filtered water into the mash tun, and 8 litres into the HLT for sparging the grains. Setting the strike temp to 71 degrees C or 160 degrees F. If you're adjusting your water profile, now's a good time to do that. After hitting the strike temp, knocking the mash tun down to 68 degrees C or 154 degrees F. Slowly adding in the grain bill and giving it a good stir to prevent grains clumping together and forming dough balls. The mash is starting to thicken up and it's getting a little hard to mix, so attaching the recirculating arm to pump the wort from the bottom of the mash tun, and that will make it a little bit easier to mash in the rolled oats. Letting the grains mash for 60 minutes and giving them a stir every 15 minutes. Halfway through the mash, heating up the sparging water to 75 degrees C or 167 degrees F. The 60-minute mash has completed. Now one final stir before starting the mash out. Turning the mash tun up to 76 degrees C or 169 degrees F and mashing out for 15 minutes. Now the mash out has been completed, lifting up the grains to start sparging. Connecting the hose to the HLT and sparging the grains until we hit a pre-boil volume of 26 litres. Removing the spent grains and turning up the boiler to its max temperature. We took a pre-boil gravity reading of 1.050. After reaching the rolling boil, adding in the hop spider. Then adding in 25 grams of the Warrior hops and starting the timer for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, adding in 1 Wellflock tablet. 15 minutes later, removing the hop spider with the spent hops. Now adding in the 50 ml of Impressence coconut rum flavour. Turning off the boiler and letting the temp drop down to 80 degrees C or 176 degrees F before starting the hop stand. Now we are at the hop stand temp, adding in 25 grams of Chinook hops to soak for 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, removing the hop spider from the boiler. Running the wort through a plate chiller to reach a suitable temp to pitch the yeast. Aiming for about 20 degrees C or 68 degrees F. Make sure to sanitize all the equipment used after this point to reduce the chance of the wort getting an infection. Adding in the packet of yeast, then splashing it around to aerate the wort and helping the yeast do its job. Almost forgot, but taking a post-boil gravity reading of 1.057. Adding in the rat peel and thermowell, then screwing down the lid nice and tight on the pressure fermenter and putting it into the fermenter fridge. Setting the spunding valve to 10 psi and attaching it to the gas line on the fermenter. Aiming to keep the fermenter fridge at 20 degrees C or 68 degrees F for the next 12 days. 12 days later, cold crashing the beer to 1 degree C or 34 degrees F. Looking inside the BrewFather app, we can see all the data sent from the rat peel. And it took about 4 days to ferment most of the sugar into alcohol. And over the next 8 days, we only lost about 3 gravity points. Here's where we cold crash for the next 2 days. You can also see in the BrewFather app a bunch of stats from the brew day, and these will be saved and archived if we ever need to look back at the information. If you're in the market for homebrew software, please consider supporting the channel by using the affiliate link in the description below. You will also gain access to an endless library of homebrew recipes. Alrighty, 2 days later, this beer has been cold crashed and ready to close transfer into a keg. Start by removing the spunding valve from the pressure fermenter, turning the CO2 bottle up to 1 bar, then connecting it to the gas line on the fermenter. Connecting the beer line from the fermenter to the beer line on the keg. Then connecting the release valve and slowly releasing it until you hear a slight hissing sound. When beer hits the release valve or run out of beer from the fermenter, pop off that release valve and remove the beer line from the keg. Ready to force carbonate this beer by turning the CO2 bottle up to 3 bar, then connecting it to the gas line on the keg. Then rolling this on the floor for 2 minutes. After that, release the excess pressure from the release valve on the keg and throw it into the keg fridge. Pouring out about 250 ml to flush out any crap from the bottom of the keg and remove any leftover line cleaner. Pouring the first glass, here are my notes on KegLand's all-grain recipe kit, the Easter Coconut Rum Stout. This near black ale delivers rich dark chocolate and coffee notes with a surprisingly smooth, creamy mouthfeel from the oats, while the coconut rum essence adds an exotic tropical sweetness. It finishes semi-dry with a lingering mocha and toasted coconut, dangerously drinkable for its richness. Thanks for hanging out to the end of the video, it's very much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one.